Audio Jungle.
Hello everyone. Have you brushed your teeth and combed your hair? Are you in your pajamas ready for bed? Are the curtains drawn and blankets tucked tight? Are you ready to sleep and say goodnight? But before you go into your dream ride, here's a story for you tonight. Tonight, I have got you a very special story. Have you heard of Pinocchio? Yes, of course you have. Yes, that wooden doll or a wooden puppet who turned into a boy at the end of the story. Do you know what happened to him after he became a boy? Today you're going to find out. Pinocchio The Boy by Lane Smith. Now, just in a nutshell, let's go through the Pinocchio story again. Geppetto, the woodcarver, made a puppet who came to life. He named him Pinocchio. He sent Pinocchio to school, but Pinocchio went to the puppet theatre instead. He was a big hit. When his friend, the talking cricket, scolded him, Pinocchio lied. And when Pinocchio lies, what happens? His nose started to grow. Ashamed, he ran far away. Geppetto searched for him high and low, but Geppetto ended up in the big fish's tummy. Pinocchio risked his life and his wooden limb to save him, and they were back home. That night, the blue fairy rewarded Pinocchio for his good deed. He visited Pinocchio's house, and with a wave of a wand, the blue fairy granted his wish and turned the wooden puppet Pinocchio into a real boy. But he had no idea. The nutty fairy had changed him while he was asleep. Here he's waking up. Next to him is Geppetto, still sleeping. Geppetto is sick and wet from that fish's belly. Pinocchio checked his father's temperature. It was 104. Oh my God, that's very high. Maybe some chicken soup would help. In the cupboard, he didn't see any soup. And in the mirror, he didn't see that he was a boy. Now, the blue fairy had not only turned Pinocchio into a boy, but they had ended up into a city as well. You remember they lived in a small village, isn't it? Now they are in Lodi city in Italy. Yes, from a little Italy village, they came to a city. Pinocchio comes out and he heads straight to the Lodi city for a hot chicken soup. But oh dear me, he didn't have any money. How is he going to buy soup now? But Pinocchio is full of ideas, so he got one. In the window of a shop, he saw help wanted notice. Now they wanted a wooden puppet to stand in their display area displaying the items of the shop. Pinocchio very smartly opened the door and walked into the display area and took his position. And the shopkeeper was first shocked. Then he was a little surprised and he said, "Oh, looks like this boy is nuts." And he threw him out of the shop. Oh dear me, poor Pinocchio, he doesn't know what went wrong. He probably doesn't see too many wooden boys, thought Pinocchio. If only Cricket were here to help, he would know what to do. Cricket! Pinocchio found his friend Cricket. Cricket always helped Pinocchio when he was confused, but Cricket knew only the puppet Pinocchio and not the flesh and blood boy. So when Pinocchio asked for his help, Cricket just said, "Creak, creak, 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 creak," as he crawled away. A girl was staring at Pinocchio. "My talking cricket wouldn't talk to me," said Pinocchio. "This kid needs my help," thought the girl. And she started following Pinocchio. She wanted to see what this funny boy would do next. Pinocchio came up with another idea. He saw a shop which read, "We buy anything." He got an idea. "Will you give me $5 for my special hanky?" he asked. "Let me see this special hanky," said the shopkeeper. Pinocchio removed his hanky. And do you see how long it is? Oh my God! Pretty long hanky. Your nose isn't that long. "It is when I lie," said Pinocchio. The shopkeeper just stared at Pinocchio. And he picked up a close sign and shut the shop. He did not want any silly boys coming and making fun. So Pinocchio had to leave. The girl caught up with Pinocchio. "Talking bugs, a long nose," she said. "What will you think of next?" The girl was very curious. But guess what? Pinocchio saw a box of puppets somebody was carrying, and he got an idea. Can you guess what? "I just thought of an idea," he said. Pinocchio went to the puppet theatre where just last week he was a big sensation. He hopped on the stage and he did the march of the wooden soldiers and the dance of marionette. And the audience, what do you think the audience would do? Do you think they'll cheer him? They got very upset. "What is a boy doing in the puppet theatre here? This is a puppet stage, not stage for boys." They hissed and they booed and they threw him out flat on his back. Oopsie daisy. "Strike 3, said the girl. Now the girl said, "Look, you have been thrown out of 3 different places. What's going on? What's happening?" "What's happening? My cricket doesn't talk to me. I can't get a job and my dad is sick at home from spending the night in the fish." "At least your dad is at home," said the girl. "My mom is so busy, I hardly ever see her." Hey, by the way, the other stories were hard enough to swallow. I wouldn't push it with that in the fish sleepover stuff, said the girl. It's hard for everyone to believe, isn't it? Pinocchio felt he had let his father down. After a whole day, he had no soup and no new ideas. He wished he could talk to his father. But wait, was that Geppetto talking to him? Now Pinocchio could hear Geppetto so far away. How is that possible? He looked up and there was a big TV screen. And on that TV screen was Geppetto. "Geppetto, what else can you tell us about your son?" the reporter asked. "Well, he's so high. He has a red cap and red boots. Pinocchio, where are you? Please come home. I'm feeling much better since this nice lady bought me some soup." That nice lady looks familiar, doesn't she? Now exactly 1 minute 20 seconds later, Pinocchio was finally home and the girl came with him. They opened the door and the girl went, "Mother!" So that lady was the little girl's mother. And the lady went, "Oh, daughter!" and they hugged. Pinocchio ran to his father and he said, "Father!" Geppetto looked here and there. "Father? Who are you?" Oh my God! Geppetto did not recognize Pinocchio. This was too much. After everything he had gone through, for it to end like this. Oh my God, Pinocchio is heartbroken. The only person in the whole wide world he loves so much, his father. His father is saying, "Who are you?" Pinocchio's own father didn't even know him. Pinocchio felt hurt. That's when the blue fairy jumped in. "I guess this is all my fault," she said. "Last night, while you were sleeping, I waved my little magic wand and silly me, I turned you into a real boy." "Boy? A real boy?" shouted Pinocchio. Now everything made sense to Pinocchio. Now Pinocchio knows why everybody was behaving so funny with him. Now, to make up for all that mess that the blue fairy had made, she took them out on the Collodi rink, which is a ice skating ring. That's right. So she took them out on a nice evening. That would have been so much fun, isn't it? They all had lots of fun. On her way back home, later, the girl and the mother, they headed home. "You never told me you were a fairy," said the girl. "No wonder you are so busy." The blue fairy just smiled at her daughter. "But Mom," she continued, "next time you change a puppet into a kid, you might just want to wake him up first." And they laughed all the way home. Wasn't that a wonderful story? Would you like to know about another story? What happened after Happily Ever After? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. On that note, good night, sleep tight, don't get into any pillow fights.